The government agrees to a $20 billion bailout of Citigroup. President-elect Barack Obama unveils his economic policy team today, and fierce flooding. Heavy rains trigger a giant landslide in Colombia. This is the CBS Morning News for Monday, November 24th, 2008.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Gielan. For the third time in 3 months, the government is throwing a lifeline to a troubled financial institution. This time, it's banking giant Citigroup. The deal was announced late last night. Claire Lake is in New York with the details. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning to you, Michelle. The bold plan to save Citigroup comes after a weekend of tense negotiations. Citigroup has more than $2 trillion in assets, operates in 100 countries, and in the end, there was little choice.
The Citigroup is too big to fail. It's a large global financial institution. If it were to fail, it would take the rest of the financial system, what's left of it, with it.
The government plan includes a $20 billion investment in Citigroup, as well as guaranteeing up to $306 billion in risky loans. This is on top of the $25 billion the government has already pumped into Citigroup. Citigroup stock has been hammered this year, down from $29.44 at the end of 2007 to $3.77 now, a drop of 87%. The plan is aimed at not only saving Citigroup, but trying to defuse the crisis of confidence that has overrun the financial system. The Dow is down 39% this year. The $20 billion cash injection comes from the $700 billion financial bailout package. Citigroup is barred from paying quarterly dividends, and executive compensation and bonuses are restricted. This is the latest government bailout. The federal government has backed J.P. Morgan Chase's purchase of Bear Stearns and has taken over mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, an effort to try and resolve an economic crisis that in all likelihood will get worse before it gets better.
One thing that makes this time particularly difficult is that the financial system is broken, that it's now increasingly difficult to get credit, whether you're someone with a very good credit score or a business that has a pristine balance sheet, and that's going to make this particular recession particularly severe.
Michelle, in a statement issued late last night, the government says it is taking the actions necessary to strengthen the financial system and protect U.S. taxpayers and the U.S. economy. Michelle?
Claire, how are financial markets overseas reacting to all this news?
You know what, Michelle? Asian stocks dropped overnight, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index down 1.5%. But in Japan, trading was closed for a national holiday. European stocks, though, are mostly higher in the early going.
And why is Citigroup being allowed to receive a bailout versus Lehman Brothers, which didn't get that luxury?
Yeah, you know what, the bottom line, Michelle, a failure of Citigroup would have posed far greater challenges to the financial system because of its massive amounts of risky debt. Plus, no bank is big enough to buy Citigroup, and not bailing out Lehman Brothers was widely considered a mistake on Wall Street, whether or not it was one, and the government wanted to avoid another chaotic aftermath like that one. Michelle?
Okay, Claire Lake here in New York. Thank you. A General Motors spokesman says GM's board of directors is considering bankruptcy, but only because it has a legal obligation to keep all options open. A spokesman says the GM board continues to support management's bid for federal assistance. GM fears that declaring bankruptcy would scare away customers. The price of gas continues to fall, now below $2 a gallon nationwide for the first time since 2005. The average price of a gallon of self-serve regular is $1.97. That's down 33 cents in the last 2 weeks. President-elect Barack Obama has unveiled a 2-year plan to revive the failing economy. Today, he introduces the team that will execute that plan. Tara Mergener is in Washington with more. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Michelle. Well, Barack Obama is prepared to spend billions to get the nation back on track, and he's counting on his economic dream team to make it happen.
President-elect Barack Obama's ready to tackle the economy, and he isn't waiting until January to start. This morning, Mr. Obama will officially announce the top members of his money team.
No previous administration, as I understand it, has even named a cabinet member before December.
The president-elect has tapped Timothy Geithner as his Treasury Secretary. Geithner will team up with Lawrence Summers, who will take over the National Economic Council. The men will confront a financial crisis that continues to deepen despite hundreds of billions of dollars in federal emergency spending in recent weeks.
They are people who are recognized across the board as leaders in the area of the economy.
In another move to show the nation he means business, Mr. Obama is demanding Congress quickly pass a massive two-year economic recovery package that provides tax relief to middle and lower income workers.
The plan is just one of Mr. Obama's campaign promises, but many expect the new economic stimulus will far exceed its original $175 billion price tag.
This is as big of an economic crisis as we've faced in 75 years, and we got to do something that's up to the task of confronting that. I don't know what the exact number is, but it's going to be a big number.
Once lawmakers return from break, they'll have 2 weeks to work on legislation before Inauguration Day. Some Democrats think the package will need to cost as much as $700 billion to shock the economy back to life.
And even with the plan in place, Obama's team says the economy is still expected to get worse before it gets better. Michelle, back to you.
Tara, what role will taxes play in the Obama plan?
Well, Michelle, they could play a very big role here. In fact, one of the big talk here is that the plans to tax the wealthy, people making over $250,000 a year, that could be put on hold. Now, that money was supposed to provide tax relief for the middle and lower income families, but now there's talk that Barack Obama may hold off on doing this until Bush's tax cuts expire in 2011. The hope is that could win the support of Republicans and get this plan through a lot faster. Michelle.
All right, Tara Mergener in Washington, thanks. In Baghdad this morning, a pair of deadly bombing attacks. Police say a woman blew herself up near the green zone, killing 5 people and wounding 11 others. The U.S. Embassy and Iraqi government officers are in the heavily fortified green zone. In a second attack, 13 people died and 7 were wounded in a bombing on a trade ministry minibus. A hijacked supertanker ship is still being held this morning by pirates based in Somalia. Off the east coast of Africa, pirates have hijacked dozens of ships by force, but international racing yachts are still sailing in those dangerous waters. Sheila McVicker reports.
With some of the world's largest shipping firms deciding that these waters off the east coast of Africa are now too dangerous, these racing yachts, including the Puma, are sailing into peril.
Captain, can you tell me where you and your crew are now?
We must be 1,000 miles off of the coast, but as we get up closer, we kind of narrow ourselves in between the coast of Africa, and of course then there's Sri Lanka on the other side.
The high-tech and fast American boat will not be easy for pirates to catch, but crew members will feel much better when they leave these seas behind them.
The waters that we're sailing in are clearly treacherous. I have to admit, it gives us shivers.
Somali pirates now hold up to 16 hijacked ships and hundreds of crew members. Vessels of all sizes are being hijacked. This icebreaker was released for $700,000. This French cruise ship returned for $2 million. And the ransom for this chemical tanker was $2.5 million. In 3 years, Somali pirates are estimated to have collected $150 million.
The negotiations may be protracted, but there is a kind of honor amongst thieves. The Somali pirates have never once failed to release a crew after accepting payment.
For the pirates, this is all about the money. In most cases, the hostages are reasonably looked after, making military rescues too dangerous and navies unable to act. Those holding the supertanker Sirius Star say the price of freedom is $17 million. But because the owners of the tanker are Muslim, that's enough for the Somali Islamists to say they will go after the pirates. Unconfirmed reports say the Sirius Star has been forced back to sea tonight and is being moved as Islamist forces grow closer. Sheila McVicker, CBS News, Dubai.
Just ahead on the morning news, a teen vampire movie sinks its teeth into the box office. Plus, teen sensation the Jonas Brothers take home a trophy at the American Music Awards.